Now, since I've been using the Realme 3 Pro as my daily driver to really test out the phone and take it to its limits, I'll answer all your questions that you asked me during my first impressions video, and I'll share with you guys everything that you guys need to know about this phone, so keep watching. Hey, what's up guys, Adam Lobo here and you're watching Adam Lobo TV. If you guys are new, hello and welcome. Do consider subscribing to Adam Lobo TV as I release videos at least twice a week. And if you're returning as a subscriber, welcome back my friends. Now let's first unbox the Realme 3 Pro, where the box comes in grey with the number 3 and Pro in front. Then opening the box, there's a nice welcome message from Realme on another small grey box, where right inside there's the SIM ejector pin, the manual, and the clear phone case. Then you'll find the phone itself. Looking underneath, there's a USB-A to micro USB cable. Yep, and a VOOC 3.0 fast charging brick, which is really nice to know that that charger is included in the box. So there's your unboxing just in Lijam. Now going over to the phone specs, the Realme 3 Pro comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 710 chipset with the Adreno 616 GPU. It is coupled with 4 gigs of RAM or 6 gigs of RAM with either 64 or 128 gigs of storage, and it comes shipped with Android 9 Pie with the Color OS 6 and Bluetooth 5.0. Now as for the phone's color options, there are 3 colors for you guys to choose from. The one which I have is the Nitro Blue, Lightning Purple, and Carbon Grey. Now as for the phone's build, the back is made of plastic but it does really look like glass, and during my first impressions video I did mention that there was some tiny little lines on it, and now I know it's inspired by the racing track with the light and the design following the Le Mans circuit in front, which is really nice to know, and the sides had a very nice matte blue kind of finish which I prefer compared to a glossy type ones. Then the cameras are arranged in a vertical position towards the left with a tiny little bump to protect the device camera, and the bump was just the right size and it did not wobble the phone at all. And then you find a fingerprint sensor over there. Now my only issue of the phone's build is that the phone's alerts and phone vibrations sometimes cannot be felt when you put it in the pocket, so keep that in mind. Now as for the ports and buttons, looking down below there is the headphones jack, thank God for that. I'm so glad that it's there. And then there's the micro USB port. And then there's the mono 5-inch speaker. Now moving to the left, there is the volume rocker and the SIM card and also the micro SD card slot, which supports up to 256 gigs of storage, and then there's the power button on the right hand side. Now as for the phone screen, it has a 6.3-inch LCD screen with the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 with a dewdrop notch, and the screen comes with a resolution of 2340 by 1080 pixels and quite a high 90.8% screen to body ratio. And viewing videos on the phone was really nice, where I kind of like the color signs of the screen's display and it looked a bit more natural, which was of course really good. Now as for the phone's camera specs, there are 2 cameras at the back. One is a 16 megapixel f1.7 lens, and then there's a 5 megapixel f2.4 depth sensor. And the pictures of the phone during the day was really nice, especially with the chroma boost mode on, and it is indeed the best produced by any Realme phones compared to the previous devices that I have used. And once again, the color reproduction was just nice with just the right amount of saturation of the image. And the portrait mode of the pictures also looked great, even if the objects had complicated shapes. Now where the phone really shines is the nightscape mode, where the shots was really good at night. Just the right exposure and also the shadow details without going crazy on the exposure during the night mode, which some other phones had. Now as for the front camera, it has a single 25 megapixel f2.0 aperture, and the regular selfie shots was nice, and the portrait selfie shots age detection was really good, but sometimes it did lack of the dynamic range of the blurred background, where it can be overexposed at times. But I do like the nice little touch that Realme gives on the phone for you guys to take selfie pictures by just touching the fingerprint sensor. So that's your camera test review, Suhail Saleh. Now as for the phone's video shots, the phone records up to 4K UHD 2160 up to 30 frames per second, and the quality of the image was great, but the image stabilization was really good only at 1080p, so I would stick to 1080p if you guys want some really good stabilized shots, where the video quality was still good at 1080p as well. Now as for the phone's front camera, it records up to 1080p up to 30 frames per second. How many times I'm saying 1080p, 1080p, 1080p? Where the image stabilization wasn't as good. Now as for the phone sound quality, as I mentioned earlier, there is the single speaker grill, which is the mono firing speaker. The clarity was okay, but it was really loud though, and here's a quick sound test.
Slept all night on a big white ship. Seagulls were dancing all around.
Now as for the phone software, it is shipped with Android 9 Pie with ColorOS 6. Now ColorOS 6, as I mentioned on the other Realme phones, has really improved, but it's something that you really need to get used to, and as much as I like it because it looks a bit like stock Android, but I still prefer the menu system, which is more straightforward and simple. But then again, if you guys are used to the ColorOS system, then it shouldn't be a problem. Now as for the phone's battery, it comes with a huge 4050 milliamps of battery, and it really puts a smile on my face where a phone at least has 4000 milliamps of battery, and this phone had a really good battery life as I got 1.5 days of battery usage of heavy use with a total phone uptime, not screen on time, of 30 hours, which was really nice. Now as I mentioned earlier that the Vogue 3.0 Now as I mentioned earlier that the Vogue 3.0 flash charging was really good too, where it charges the phone from 0 to 100% in 80 minutes. And since a fast charging brick is included in the box, it's also an added bonus. But to be completely honest, I'm sure you guys know, and I'm sure you guys may also prefer to have a USB-C port to streamline all of the devices. So there you have it, Blonde Deep. There's your battery test and also the performance review for the phone. Now in terms of gaming, my usual gaming test is with Asphalt 9, where the gameplay was good with no lag whatsoever, and it did run on high settings of PUBG, but the phone does get a little bit warm during a full gameplay of PUBG. But I really like the gaming mode on the phone, where it chooses to put no disturbance on for you to have a great gaming experience. And there's your answer, QY Musics and Fikri Lee on the gaming test. Now in conclusion, the Realme 3 Pro is a really good phone to use daily, especially if you want a phone which has a good battery life and if you're used to the ColorOS system, and of course, don't mind the micro USB port. Now as for the phone's price here in Malaysia, the phone is going for 899 ringgit for the 4 gigs of RAM and 64 GB of storage variant, and only 1099 ringgit for the higher variant of 6 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of storage, and I'll leave links down below for you guys to get one. Alright guys, with this, do let me know what you guys think of the Realme 3 Pro down in the comment section below. Would you guys get it? Aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. Like, share and subscribe to Lobo TV if you haven't done so. Don't forget to hit the bell icon just next to it to get notified for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is Lobo, and I'll catch you guys really soon.